Awesome. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our first interview of June. Kind of crazy how fast the month of May flew by, but really excited for this upcoming month. Hope you guys are all excited today. It's excited as well. Today we have our very first interview with someone very special, Elizabeth Robinson. Thank you for being here, Elizabeth. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So, Elizabeth, like I like to start all these shows, why don't you give a little bit of a brief introduction on who you are, where you work, what you're currently working on, so everybody has a little bit more background on yourself.
Sure. Well, my name is Elizabeth Robinson, and I graduated from WMU Cooley Law School in 2019. I work in Kalamazoo, Michigan for a small firm. There's two of us named Carrie Hedinger, PLC. And I worked for him before I went to law school as a paralegal and legal assistant for about 6 years. Currently, I focus my practice in estate planning, probate trust administration, some elder law, small business matters, and I'm doing some real estate as well.
Gotcha. Awesome. That's really cool. I know I read this on your website a little bit that, you always kind of wanted to be somebody that was helping people and you found out that law might be the best way for you to do so. Other than that, what made you want to get into the legal field and become an attorney?
Well, I worked within the court system for quite a while, and I saw a lot of people attempting to represent themselves or attempting to navigate the legal circus, as some refer to it, and they really were struggling with that. It's not an easy place to navigate when you don't have the tools. And so, that experience really led me to where I am today. It led me to becoming a legal assistant for Carrie and dabbling and getting involved as much as I could. And then, ultimately did lead me to law school. So I do also have attorneys in the family. So they were a great resource for me to reach out to and talk to and, pick brains. So it was always a little bit on my mind, but my experience working for the court system really affirmed that that's where I needed to end up.
Oh, gotcha. And I mean, was it just something, you just were like, oh, I'll try and start working in the court system? Or like, did you get, I know you said you had some, lawyers in the family. Is it like they pushed you to at least try it, or what even got you to start with that?
No, actually, they were dissuading me. They said, don't go to law school. You'll regret it. It will be terrible and you'll hate it and you'll work yourself to the bone by the time you're 40. So I didn't start there. I worked for a credit union. I worked for a video game company. I just kind of worked everywhere, just experimenting. I have a BA in English, so
Okay.
it's kind of a general degree. And I was actually in the process of moving to teach English in South Korea, and it ended up not working out with my husband's job. And a friend of mine worked for the court system, and she said, well, just come work for me for a year and see how you like it. And at the end of that year, I said, you know what? I do not like working in the court system. I want to have more control and I want to be able to influence people in a way that matters.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's a really cool story. Very interesting. Because it's interesting. Some people I talk to were like, yeah, from day one I knew I wanted to be attorney, but then others like yourself, it kind of takes a little bit of navigating, which I think is totally fine. I know you said that you have kind of a lot of different things that you do work on, but right now, are you have anything you're kind of focusing on, or any special projects you're kind of working on?
Right now, most of my cases, most of my clients are estate planning and probate administration. And I really enjoy that. I enjoy helping people plan for their future, not just for when they're gone. And I also enjoy when those clients do pass away, when I'm able to help their family members deal with that grief and move forward from it. Because really, that's what probate administration is. It's helping people deal with grief, helping people deal with what may be the most complicated and scary moment of their lives. They just lost a loved one and now they have to go and navigate this complex court system. And so right now, most of my clients, most of my cases are in that area, and I really enjoy it.
Gotcha. No, I mean, like you said, you're in a very impactful role. And I think it's important definitely for people to work with somebody that they work well with. And that kind of leads me to my next question. If somebody is looking to, speak to somebody about probate administration, what are some things that you would recommend they look for, in a good attorney, or to figure out if they're a good match?
I would look for a consultation, first of all, where you're not being pressured to sign anything or agree to anything, where the attorney is going to listen to you. And also, the attorney will ask you intelligent questions. It's so easy when you are a client to be focused on again, the grief. But when you're looking for an attorney, you want one that will both help you cope with that grief, but also set out a plan to overcome it, to move through the court system. And with, especially with probate, it's not really something that I would advise looking for an attorney who is maybe hasn't done it before. So you do want to find someone who knows what they're doing, who has experience in that county, because probate courts can often be county specific for navigation. While they may
Sure.
have some of the same rules, sometimes they just look a little bit different. So finding someone local and finding someone who's willing to listen to you and understand your unique issues and your point of view.
Gotcha. No, that makes a lot of sense for sure. And this is kind of something I wanted to really touch upon, because I know, with probate especially, that sometimes you're dealing with maybe elderly people. And I've spoke to someone in the past who was a estate planning attorney, and he was talking about how it was a pro with everything going on, to having kind of like a virtual court
Mhm.
and everything like that. People don't have to drive as much. It makes it easier for people. So I'd be curious to see, how the virus has impacted what you've been doing recently, and how things have kind of changed with everything. I mean, kind of sort of getting back to normal a little bit, but
Yeah, things have changed pretty significantly with the virus. Just from the beginning, the way that I'm meeting with clients for my initial consultation, all the way to when I'm, standing in front of a judge during supervised administration. Um, it's been a pretty big learning curve, particularly for my elderly clients, people who maybe don't have a cell phone or a computer or need to access one in some way. Making sure that if they do need to go someplace outside of their home, that they're doing so safely and that they are comfortable wherever they're going. So Zoom is a great tool. I haven't had a I haven't had a single judge that hasn't utilized Zoom at this point within probate court for the various counties that I practice within.
mhm.
The only issue that I've had so far with Zoom has been people not being able to turn on their volume or figure it out. So it's been a
Mhm.
great tool. I think that we've had a lot of really intelligent, focused people working on making this a thing that can continue, can work. Although I am looking forward to getting back to the court system, just walking in, being able to be heard. I think that there's something unique about being able to stand with your client and comfort them physically, even if you're not touching, but just the presence
Yeah.
of someone can be very comforting. Um, but and then, of course, on the flip side, a lot of my clients are not comfortable going to court, so they're happy to just sit at home or sit in my office and speak to the judge that way.
hmm No, that makes sense. So, do you foresee there being kind of a continuation of this hybrid type model then?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think that it's up to people much more intelligent than me, with much more influence than I have. And I did attend a conference recently where that was one of the hot topics. There's a lot of debate about it. I think that there is a camp of people that want to get back in person, and there's a camp of people that enjoy working from home. So I think that we will probably see a continued hybrid method, but frankly, I won't be shocked either way.
Yeah, I think, yeah, like you said, it's definitely, there's some big people up top that are the ones who are really going to be making the decisions. But it's interesting to see, because it's, affecting not just people in the legal industry, all different industries and
Mhm.
all different sectors. I mean, even school. I know in the fall people are, deciding, oh, are they going to go back to school fully? Are there going to be some classes online? And I think, like you said, either way, there's going to be people who want it one way or the other. It's going to be tough to make everybody happy, but I think people are doing the best with what they've got right now. It seems like, for sure.
Yes, I agree.
So I know you kind of mentioned this a little bit in the beginning of what you just said with people finding you. And with everything, kind of shifting, how do people find you? As it, I know that you have a website. That's great. Are there other online things that you guys are doing, or have you guys just been solely referral based? Because I know sometimes when it comes to online marketing, when you're working with older people, they might not be using technology as much. So I'd love to hear some of your insights on what you guys are doing, what's working, what's not.
So most of what we've been doing has been referrals from our network, whether it's the professional network or our clients referring other people, happy clients. I do have a website. Our firm has a website, but, and I have received quite a few clients from my online presence, which is great. And I think that moving forward, that's going to be more of a focus. But so far, most of my clients have come from referrals or past clients, or other areas where we practice in our firm, people saying, oh, hey, do you know a good estate planning attorney? And we'll say, well, we do, we're right
Yeah,
here. So at this point, it's been that. I'm involved in a couple different networking groups that I'm really enjoying, that are excellent for generating clients. And I do think that in the future, everyone's going to have to get more creative. But luckily, right now, I'm in an area of law that is pretty self-sufficient. I don't know if it will continue or not, but yeah, I haven't really had a lot of big changes as far as referrals from the virus.
that's good. No, that's really good. When it comes to those networking groups, are those like legal specific networking groups or more general, kind of like a BNI type group? What, I'd love to know.
So I'm in some legal specific networking groups, but I'm also in one BNI group, and I joined that for the purpose of serving my clients. I one of the beautiful things about estate planning that I really enjoy is having a lifelong relationship with my clients. Meeting someone before they have kids, and then they're coming in with grandkids. And that's something I have some experience with, and I'm looking forward to experiencing as my practice continues to grow. And the beauty of the BNI group that I'm in is I can find out, if I know, hey, my client wants to repaint their house, I can reach out to my group. Hey, I have a client that needs to paint their house. Or if someone is looking for a nursing home for grandma, I can say, hey, group, what experience do you have with these nursing homes? And so that's a really beautiful thing to be able to serve my clients with.
Oh yeah, no, I can imagine that being a very powerful tool, because not only is it, obviously helping your clients, but that is something, a valuable asset that you could, leverage when, if people are considering working with you. Oh, I have a wide network of people who help me in a variety of different things. Because not only would they be able to help, you could help them with this, they could, at least know, oh, working with Elizabeth, I know that she has, wide network. She's not just gonna try and take my money and do the bare minimum working for me. She's actually going to be trying to help me with a variety of different things. I know you've been mentioning a lot when it comes to estate planning. So is that some area you're really, in the future when you're looking to grow your kind of what you've been doing? Is that the area you're looking to grow, or are there other kind of avenues you're looking to go down as well?
I really enjoy estate planning. It's an avenue that I think I would like to continue working on. If any part of my practice grows, I would like that to be it. However, I'm also have been doing some elder law and Medicaid planning, and I'm enjoying that as well. It's a different way for me to serve the clients I have and to continue to serve that client base, which is a base that I enjoy. And I do see myself going forward in that avenue, particularly because I'm a parent, and that part of law allows me to find a work-life balance that I believe is incredibly important.
Yeah, I think that's something, and I'd love to know. Why don't we dig into this a little bit? When it comes to establishing a proper work-life balance, what are some things that you like to keep in mind? Is it something you stop checking emails after 5 o'clock, or you are taking half of Fridays off or something? What do you do to make sure that you're kind of keeping a proper work-life balance?
Well, I don't know that there is such a thing as a proper work-life balance. I don't think anyone's
Very true.
really achieved that. But I do take Fridays off. I stay home with my son on that day. I do my best not to check emails all weekend. If I do have to work over the weekend, I try to keep it to the morning, so that the rest of my day is preserved. I make sure that I have breakfast with my son every morning, no matter what time that is, as long as it's, before I have to be at the office. But he wakes up early, so that makes it easy.
Oh,
And
that's
then
good.
during the week, I do stop checking emails around 6 o'clock.
Gotcha. No, I think that's good. And you're right. And I think too, everybody's work-life balance is a little bit different, different for them. Some people might just want to work more. Or maybe they have more family responsibilities that they need to take care of. But I think, whatever side of the spectrum you're on, if you want to get the best out of both worlds, you need to make sure that you're keeping a proper work-life balance. I've been trying to do that more and more recently, is, maybe divert my time on the weekends a little bit to just working in the morning. So, I kind of want to wrap this up. I don't want to take too much more of your time, but I do appreciate you being here. The last two questions I want to ask. What are some, do you have any goals for the end of 2021 or into 2022, Elizabeth? Are you looking to, is it something, I mean, if you don't, that's fine. I'm just curious.
I just kind of have general big picture goals, and those goals are to continue to serve my clients and also to maybe focus more of my practice on estate planning as much as I can. Maybe, really those are it. I think that the virus taught us one thing, and that's don't be so focused on a goal that you believe you need to achieve that you can't be flexible and grow in other areas. So I do try to keep an open mind.
Yeah, no, I think that's important. Being adaptable is something a lot of people so far in these interviews we've talked about. I think that's a very important skill for lawyers to have, but for everybody to have, really, no matter what industry you're in.
Mhm.
And then my final question, I'm really glad to hear it seems like things are going pretty well for you. So for anybody that's maybe struggling right now in their practice, or even just struggling to get started, what are some pieces of advice that you would give to them?
Well, I really have one main piece of advice, and that's that every hardship is a season, and this one will pass just like every season passes. Keep working hard and to keep doing what feels right.
Yeah, no, I like that analogy. That's a very good one. I like that. I know, it's kind of something, you can't let disasters go to waste. You need to take your lessons from them, and like you said, everything will pass. One thing, kind of just briefly when we talked about adaptability, I think it's very important for people to persevere through the challenges. Like you said, hardships fade, hardships change like the seasons. But one thing I think is very important that a lot of people I think can kind of get stuck on is if they're only doing, maybe they're trying something over and over again for the sake of not giving up, but in reality maybe they just need to try something different a little bit and kind of adapt. Would you agree that that's sometimes important?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and it's something I think it's sometimes hard for people to grasp. I think, kind of a do not give up mentality is, something that a lot of people have, which is very important. But I think it's sometimes, when you're trying something different, you're not giving up. You're just trying something different. And, what's the worst that could happen? It just doesn't work again, like what, what was going on before. So, well, thank you so much for your time today, Elizabeth. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next interview. Thank you.